Welcome back to the Political Buzz, where we break down the biggest political stories of the day. Today we're diving into a hot button issue that's been caught in the whirlwind of political flip-flopping for decades: immigration and the border crisis. So how do these constant policy changes affect the U.S. and the families making the dangerous journey to our southern border? Let's break it all down. If there's one thing we can count on American politics is inconsistency. Every few years, a new administration comes in with their own stance on immigration, sometimes welcoming, sometimes shutting the door. One president might expand protections like DACA, while the next slashes asylum programs. One might increase border security, while the next loosens restrictions. And guess what? This back and forth doesn't just create confusion, it fuels a never-ending crisis.
Together we must build a future where the promise of America is kept for a new generation. We also know that keeping this promise means upholding America's tradition as a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants. Those things aren't contradictory. They're complementary. That's why I'm committed to passing comprehensive immigration reform as President of the United States. The American people believe in immigration, but they also believe that we can't tolerate a situation where people come to the United States in violation of the law. Nor can we tolerate employers who exploit undocumented workers in order to drive down wages. And that's why we're taking steps to strengthen border security, and we must build on those efforts. We must also clarify the status of millions who are here illegally, many who have put down roots. For those who wish to become citizens, we should require them to pay a penalty and pay taxes, learn English, go to the back of the line behind those who played by the rules. That is the fair, practical, and promising way forward. And that's what I'm committed to passing as President of the United States.
Adamantly against illegal immigrants. I made this exception basically on humanitarian grounds because of the individual stories, but certainly we've got to do more at our borders, and people have to stop employing illegal immigrants.
I believe we need to get back to comprehensive immigration reform because no state, no matter how well-intentioned, can fill this gap. These children are coming from heartbreaking, terrible situations. Within our legal framework, we need to, on a humanitarian basis, provide emergency care for all the children. I don't care who they are or where they come from. They need to be given the basics, the necessities, and as much love as we can. And what President Obama is saying is Congress hasn't given him the resources to do what is necessary to appropriately handle these children.
You don't think we should send them back?
Well, because some of them should be sent back. I think the people who are here, who are raising families and working hard and contributing to our country, deserve a path to citizenship. We have to send a clear message. Just because your child gets across the border, that doesn't mean the child gets to stay. If Congress continues to refuse to act, as president, I would do everything possible under the law to go even further.
I voted for a fence. I voted, unlike most Democrats, and some of you won't like it, I voted for 700-mile fence. And let me tell you something, folks. People are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts from methamphetamine to cocaine to heroin. It's all coming up through corrupt Mexico.
And the impulse is to hunker down, shut the gates, build walls, exit at this moment. Is precisely the wrong answer.
Former presidents have said to him that they wish that they had built a wall. Do you recall President Obama ever saying that?
Come on.
Well, for starters, local governments, especially in border states, are left scrambling to adjust. One day they're preparing for deportations, the next they're dealing with an influx of asylum seekers. And let's talk money. Billions are spent on border enforcement, legal battles, and humanitarian aid, all while the policies keep changing. employers who rely on the migrant labor. And then there's the human side, the families making the treacherous journey north. Political flip-flops mean they never know what to expect. Will they be able to apply for asylum, or will they be turned away? Will families be separated? Will they be stuck in limbo for months or even years? Policies like Remain in Mexico forces many into dangerous conditions, while sudden amnesty programs can encourage massive waves of migration, putting more people at risk of human trafficking and exploitation.
Last week, what does housing look like for our own residents who are houseless nests, who need affordable housing, our seniors? Those resources that asylum seekers are getting in one place, our residents have to go multiple places for.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
At the end of the day, America needs a consistent long-term immigration strategy, not policies that change every election cycle. Because when politics take priority over people, everyone loses. What do you think? Should there be a bipartisan immigration overhaul, or is it gridlock, here to stay? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more Politics Deep Dive. Until next time, this is The Political Buzz.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before.